Hello, we're doing something a bit different again. We're going to play a classic game for today. We'll get back to the ending of Cosmo Breeder probably in the next episode, but I wanted to do something different, so let's play another classic. This is Mega Man Zero, which is actually an interesting offshoot of the Mega Man franchise. In this Mega Man style game, it focuses on Zero instead of Mega Man. And the main villain is Mega Man, which is actually probably the most interesting saying about this series. And you know, Mega Man is the bad guy. But this game series is a bit different than the traditional Mega Man, because it does have some RPG aspects to it, but you do get various weapons and other abilities. Probably the most ridiculous thing about it is the way they changed Zero's appearance. I mean, he still kind of looks like Zero, but they really changed him up a lot. But it's still a really good game series, and one of the few spin-off series that actually lasted for multiple games, because there's like, what, 4 or 5 Mega Man Zeros? I know there's at least 4. But yeah, Mega Man Zero is a Mega Man spin-off series that became its own series in its own right, and that's actually pretty impressive. Because, you know, a lot of game spin-offs don't last more than a single game, kind of like movies. Movie spin-offs and TV show spin-offs normally don't do as well, but this is one of the game series that actually did well on its own. Alright, enough of that random ass talk. Let's play the game and actually try to make a good video. And for a Game Boy Advanced game, it did pretty well with the graphics and animations. But they did an incredibly good job with the music. Because it does sound like music that would be in an actual Mega Man. Alright, just had to remember the controls. But yeah, Zero starts off with a generic like Mega Buster gun, but he gets a variety of weapons, not just his traditional saber, but actually a variety of various weapons he gets throughout the game. And yeah, like I said, it has some RPG elements, but it actually turns into a pretty good game by its own right. Even if you never heard of the Mega Man series before this game, you would still say this game was well done, probably, because it does capture what Mega Man did quite well. Oh yeah, there's the Cyber Elves that you can collect that have various abilities. If you look at your main menu, there's all sorts of abilities. Yeah, you can't choose Cyber Elves in the opening. But there are various Cyber Elves that all have their own benefits, like protective ones, healing ones, and some, you know, they have various effects. Oh. Sorry, I was just practicing. I think the buttons I have are a bit mixed up because the dash button is in the wrong place, but I can live with it. I just had to practice to figure out what dash button worked for me. I got it. But like, starting with Mega Man X, the tradition was always some starting boss. And there's a starting boss on this one. Yeah. This is where you get your first weapon. Is basic Zero Saber, which is his iconic weapon. Yeah, you always know when you're able to move on because it'll say mission complete. Now, once you get the Z Saber or whatever, you're better off using that instead of the gun. I mean, the gun has long range, but it's weak as hell. But you do get to level up. I just realized my camera was in the wrong focus. But you do get to level up your weaponry in this game. That's one of the RPG elements, is you actually level up your weapons. Yeah, if you look at your, like, that just gives you the, let me change the dash buttons. Okay. Alright, that's what we wanted. Okay, we got the button set. And there's where we, yeah, you can download elf, feed elf, and all that. That's how you equip the different battle elves and shit you get. And you even get a, I guess, rating, depending on what you did in the mission. I got a rating of B for that one, but I don't know if there's any point in getting the A and S rank ratings. I don't think you get anything from it. It's just more of a how you're doing. Yeah, for this story part, you find out that this happened 100 years after the Mega Man X games. Now, so where you find out that X is suddenly evil. Yeah, this is the main hub of the game. There's all sorts of stuff to search out and all sorts of stuff to do, but you're kind of limited at the start on where you can go. But there's plenty of stuff to explore in this game, and there are a lot of things you can do to expand the base and, you know, secrets and all that. So there's actually some exploration shit in this game, which actually adds to the RPG element. Right now, most of the shit is empty and there's not much you can do here. But as the game progresses, you know, the base becomes a lot more, you know, full and makes a lot more shit capable of being done. Oh wait. But for now, all you can do is accept the first mission, and that's the main thing you do, is to accept missions from Seal to go to the various areas. Yeah. But there are arcs to the missions. Where there are different paths the missions take. And as you can see, the stars tell you how many levels of the weapon there are. Like the gun only has 3 levels, and the sword actually has 6 levels, which is kind of odd. Yeah, you can only choose the cyber elves at those particular points. But yeah, your weapons gain levels that make them stronger, and you learn more attacks by leveling them up. So killing enemies builds up their level. Yeah, if you want to do it like an actual RPG, there are pretty good spots where you can actually build up your weapon. And you notice that your aptitude sticks with you to the next stage. Like, it still says level B, because that's what I got on the last stage. So your aptitude stays with you until you do better. Yep. And yeah, you get various cyber fairies that have their own effects. And there are long falling areas like that where you gotta be really careful. And there's what we happen. Yeah, when you get a game over, you get continues, but you get a limited number of continues. Yeah, you get a limited number of continues, but you do get to load as many times as you want from a save. So yeah. So there is that bonus. Okay, so we just gained the skill saver up. See, now we can do a double attack and be able to charge it. So that's a bonus. Not a bonus when you're allowing everything to hit you. Yeah, once you get a level on your weapon, it becomes way better than what it was. Oops. But like, yeah, the shit like the stage effects and everything like that. For a Game Boy Advance game, they did a really good job with all this. I just wanted to get that cyber elf. Okay, restore my health. Because at the end of every mission, there's a boss. Yeah, at the end of every mission, there's a boss. And if you're not prepared for the boss, you can easily die because the bosses in this game are actually fairly difficult. Even the very first boss, besides the story boss, is pretty difficult. Well, yeah, we'll finish off Cosmo Breeder probably in the near future, plus all the other stuff that we were working on. But this first boss is dangerous as hell. And you have a time limit to kill this first boss. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of practice on this game. But, like I say, you get a bunch of continues, and if you do fail, then you can always just reload your game. Well, we got him that time. I can't believe I wasted so many continues that early, but I'm out of practice on this game, so it's going to take me a minute to get back into practice. But yeah, that first boss, you pretty much just charge in and kick his ass. And the Sunder chip adds the elemental ability Sunder to your weapon, which some enemies are weak against. So they do add the elemental bullshit in this game as well. Here you can see what all elves you've collected. The hacker one that can stun certain enemies is one of them. Climbing one, the one that saves you from a pit. But some of the elves start young and you have to wait till they grow up. But here's an elf that gives you vitality, which is basically the ones that heal you. But you can only use the elves once. Once you use an elf, they die. So, yeah, you get a certain number of elves that you can find throughout the game. Right up here. You get a certain number of elves you can find throughout the game, but once they're used, they die and you can't use them anymore. Oh, careful, Ref. So you gotta be really careful of when and how you use the elves you locate. Yeah, now you got the ability to leave a mission, but if you choose to do that, then you are in fact fucking up, and therefore the mission is a failure, and in some cases makes it where the mission is unavailable. Oh, I thought data meant that's the place you save it also. But yeah, you can see what all fairies you have. You can also change your weaponry and their buttons at will. So just because you choose your buttons at the start does not mean you're stuck with the configuration. Alright. I thought there was a story part there. I didn't know how much I had, but yeah, you give him 250 of that crystal energy. Yeah, those light green crystals. And he'll let you pass. Yeah, you gotta explore the base in between missions to kind of get information and sometimes unlock new missions, because there are other missions besides the main missions. And not to mention, you can find items in the base. So as you go through the game, you want to search the base out to find any missing items, because there are items in the base itself. Yeah, there's more than one area in the base. If you go up top, there are various areas that you can go down in the base. Of course, we're going the wrong way. But there are other aspects of just that main base right here. Like right here is where you get to the transit tunnels, I think. Yeah, later we'll have to go through that way to the trains and all that. Yeah, you pretty much explore the base, find out what the hell's going on with it. You know, practice your maneuvering abilities and shit. And then once you're ready, you can proceed to the next mission. But she's not gonna talk to me just yet. Oh, there we go. And now you can do like process data, which allows you to save. So yeah, it is the save point of the game. And then if you fuck up too much, you can load your data. And then anytime you're ready to move on and play the game, you click begin mission. Where, as I said, you get multiple choices for your missions, and there is actually a branching paths in the game where if you choose certain missions, then others will disappear, and so on and so forth. It's kind of like Armored Core. But sometimes the missions stay. It just depends on which ones you pick. So yeah, I'm apologizing now that this is more of a review than what I was planning on. I'm sorry if I didn't have a lot of time tonight, so that's why we'll get back to Cosmo Breeder and all those games later. I just didn't have a lot of time tonight. Whoops. But this is a great game. It's definitely a classic that's worth playing. Oh yeah, those are bombs. Yeah. One of the other interesting things about this game is you do have a sub-weapon you can set. So it is a smart idea to set your sub-weapon as a counterpart to your main weapon. I know it seems pointless to destroy something like that, but remember, your weapons gain levels. The more you use the weapon, the more XP you get. But I don't even know if you can destroy those. Oh, fucking. Oh, yeah, those assholes. Oh, yeah, this is a really good game and definitely worth playing. Whether you're a Mega Man fan or not. Whether you're a Mega Man fan or not, this is a good action side-scroller to dick around on. Well, that's Cyber Fairy. You want to collect those because those are valuable. Now, every time you get close to the boss, you want to make sure you're prepared. Because, as I already said, the bosses in this game are fairly difficult. So you want to make sure you're at full health every time you fight against a boss. Which, in some cases, are not easy to do so. But if you have a cyber elf, or whatever they're called, they can help you. Like that one. As you can see, it doesn't heal you completely, but that would have been very effective on the boss to give you that much extra health. But before we have to end this video, because I already apologize, this isn't a full review, it's just a partial, because I don't have the time to do a full one because I gotta go work early. But at least show you what the boss is at the end of the mission and try to beat it, even though I have no chance in hell at this point. This boss is a pain in the ass. Wow. I got one hit on him. But yeah, this is a good game for the Game Boy Advance, and definitely a really good Mega Man adaptation series. And yeah, definitely still worth playing today and fun as hell, plus challenging. Anyway, if you like my videos, please follow and subscribe. I really apologize, this one is so short, but I had either to do this one or not do one at all because my work schedule for tomorrow is completely fucked up. But until next time, take it easy. I promise my next video will be longer and better, but I just have to show what I can when I have the chance. So see you next time, take it easy.